All right, so just had a thought, and as an African American man, I don't really think, or I don't really know, I should say, I don't really know if everybody's gonna relate to this, but I don't think a lot of people will, but I think there's a correlation between tough love and trauma. Definitely Definitely think so. I was just having a conversation with a friend, and he was describing to me his self-talk to motivate himself to do things in a more appropriate manner. Not to throw his business out there and stuff like that. I won't. But to me, after hearing that, I was offering an alternative to kind of steer the energy that he was trying to get away from to somewhere else. Like if the anger, if you're always angry, if you're always sad or something, that's still energy. So you could direct that energy to something else, like going to the gym, or in his case, I was recommending, because he already goes to the gym, that he takes like a boxing class and start learning that stuff and things of that nature. But the self talk is what I really harped on, and it made me also think about me because um personally I also have negative self-talk because my education background is something that I still can't get over, and I'm 35 years old in the making of this, is that, I was a special ed student, and I have a reading problem. Like, I don't read the greatest. I don't spell the greatest. I can do math, but I'm not like I'm not gonna be able to tell you if a shirt was 12.99. I'm not gonna tell you off the top of my head what's and if the shirt was 30% off. I'm not gonna be able to do that. So my negative self-talk to myself is extremely bad because I know of my past. Granted, I could take care of myself. I got my own place, pay all my bills. I got a pretty decent job. I started a business before COVID, made $10,000 with that business, and then when COVID hit, I stopped doing that job, or stopped trying to create that business. So like I'm weak in certain areas and strong in others. But at this big age, the last thing I want to do is be my worst enemy. I want to be my best friend. And I think that's really comes back to trauma, because I've had a lot of tough love. My parents, like if I looked up in like a family photo album, like, and I look at my parents, I don't even see people. I just see the word or the phrase tough love. Like those are my parents right there. So, and in saying that, that means that I got a lot of trauma from them, and it's from how they raised me collectively, or separately, and then what they experienced. So it's kind of interesting. Like, if I can take a step out of being their son and just being a human being on planet Earth, and just looking from what information I have of them as people, not just my parents, but just as people, and what they wanted to share with me about their lives. They both had really tough lives, and now they want, and then they, you know, made me, right? So, and then you at today's age, where you have so many people wanting to be therapists, so many apps, so many of this, so many of that to try to uh, harp on mental health and everything in that nature. But back in my parents' days, that wasn't even a thought. This mental health stuff. They probably thought you was weak talking about, whatever they may have talked about to signal that something was wrong. So I think tough love and trauma go hand in hand. And the number one thing that we need to do is try our best to break that cycle. Granted, the way that we're going about it, as of right now, like, because if you're 35, or if, let's say, you're 30 and above right now, or maybe if you're even if you maybe let's say you're 29, 28 and above, maybe you are more of aware of how things used to be. Like people, you would go to school and get bullied and fight and all this other stuff, not get bullied and tell the teacher and the person gets suspended and all. Like, to me, like, the people nowadays are just a tad bit softer than, what it is, like what it was. Like, for me, being this big age now, like, I thought I was soft growing up. And now, like, people tell me, like, yo, like, you're extremely tough. You're extremely tough. But the environment that I was in and the people that I looked up to, they were all in tougher situations, and they were just, you're talking about, like, people that were doing real things compared to how it is nowadays. I'm getting thrown off topic, but at the end of the day, I really want to stress that we have to do better and change this. I don't think tough love is good. I really don't think so. I really believe there's a correlation between tough love and trauma. Like, they mask it. Like, all right, I was raised with tough love, but in reality, it's trauma, and we need to figure out a way to get over that trauma. And when you could beat the trauma, you break the cycle. So if you have children, or even just that negative self-talk that you give yourself, that shit is gone, man. That shit is 100% gone. You ain't gonna talk to yourself, like garbage again. You're gonna be your own best friend. And you know, I think that should be the goal. You should be your own best friend.